Welcome. This lesson will be of particularly important to those of you who really want to learn more about the Primavera P6 interface. So I will focus on some of the very important aspects of P6 interface in this present lesson. First, we'll go through and we'll have more details about working with the project view and the activities view. And then we will discuss more about each and every toolbar item that is present in the top, left, and right hand side of the Primavera P6 default screen. Okay, then without any further delay, let's start our lesson right away. Okay, so we are already there in the projects view where we have the projects table or the projects list we call the projects view on the left side and Gantt chart view on the right side, and below we have the project detail form there. Now, in case if you are not seeing this projects list in the Primavera P6 default screen, let me close this window. For example, if I click on this red cross button on the upper right corner, then there are two ways to bring this window back. I can click on Enterprise menu from the top, select the projects option from here, and you see this is bringing back the projects view in front of us. The second way is I can use the projects icon on the left side in the toolbar to bring this windows back. Now at this time, as you have seen here, if I click on this projects icon now, then no action is getting performed, nothing is happening now. It's because our projects window is opened there already. If I close this projects window by pressing the icon on the right side and click on this projects icon now, you see this is bringing back the projects view in front of us. Also, you can adjust the width of the columns as needed. For example, move your mouse to a point where the cursor symbol changes to these little arrows. Now keep your left mouse clicked and keep it pressed. Move your mouse left and right to adjust the column size accordingly. Another important thing, the minus sign in the project view, it shows that all the projects are shown under that particular EPS, while the plus sign, it shows that all the projects under that particular EPS are hidden or collapsed. Now, in order to open a certain project, there are multiple ways we can use to open the project we want in this list. For example, let's say if I want to open an ABC nursing home project, I'll click on this, and there are multiple ways that we can use to open up this certain project. Firstly, you can click on File and we can use the Open option to open up this project. The second way is we can click on this Open folder-like icon on the left side in the toolbar. This will also help us to open up the project. And after selecting this ABC nursing home, I can click on Open button and this will open up the project. Now, thirdly, I can right click on the project I want to open and select the Open project option there. So this is what I'm going to do now. I will click on Open project and you see our project is opened. All the project activities are shown here in the activities window. Important to note that we have to be in the projects window. If we are not in the projects window, then we can click on the projects icon on the left side, or we can select the enterprise menu from the top and we can choose the projects option from here. We need to make sure all projects are shown under an EPS node, and if not, we can click the plus sign to show all the projects under a certain EPS node. We highlight the required project we want to open, then we will right click and we will select the Open project option. Now please note that don't double click here, because when in the projects window, if we double click on a certain project, then it will cause us to edit the project name rather than opening the project. Okay, now since our ABC nursing home project is opened already, do you know why do we use the activities window? In fact, the activities window is used to create, view, and edit activities for the open project. The activities window can be divided into the top layout and the bottom layout. From the project window, we can open a project, we can highlight, right click, and then select the open project option from here. And very important to note that by default, when we open a new project, the project will open in the activities window. And as you see here, we have activity table, Gantt chart, and below we have activity details form there. We have the name of the active and the open project at the top. I mean, it's the name of the currently open project. And this activities at the top, it is showing the name of the currently active window. Now, what is active tab title bar? The active tab title bar, it displays all the windows we have opened in the Primavera P6. It makes our life easy to navigate between the open windows. So at present, our active tab title bar contains the projects and the activities windows only. Now, in order to navigate between open windows, we can simply click the tab of the windows we want to view or we wish to view. For example, if I wish to view the projects, I can click on the projects. Otherwise, I can go back to the activities window by clicking on the activities tab there. Now, to close any active window, I can, on the active tab title bar, I can select this red cross button on the upper right corner and it will close the active window. Now, please note that we can open as many windows as we want, and always the name of the currently active window will appear in the active tab title bar as it is showing here. So at the top we have active window title and below we have active tab title bar. Now if you observe here very closely, you will find out that activities view looks very similar to the projects view. Now if you click on the projects view, we have the enterprise project structure or EPS and the list of all the projects that are showing there for the organization called Arba Incorporated. If we look at the activities view, in the activities window, we have the name of the project that is showing there at the top. Then we have the WBS or the work breakdown structure element. This is also referred as the summary task. And we have the activities there. In the Gantt chart view, some activities are showing in blue color, some are red, and some of them are in green color. Now, please note that, and it is important to remember that the blue color activities are completed already, while the activities that are in red color means these are critical activities and we have not started any work on these activities yet. The activities that are in green color means these are non-critical activities and also no work has been started on these activities as well. Remember here, and please notice that we have one activity that is part of the activity is in blue color and part of the activity is in red color. Let me zoom in. Now it's more clear. Now this means that this activity is also a critical activity. Now almost the 75% of the work, roughly, it has been completed on this activity, while the remaining 25% work on this critical activity is pending. So what I want to say here that this is an activity which is a critical and 75 to 80% of the work it has been completed on this activity while the remaining work is still pending. That's why you see here the remaining part of the activity is still red. Please always remember that the activities are always created under the WBS elements or what we call these as work breakdown structure elements or summary tasks. Please don't forget that the box-like symbol on the left side, it shows the work breakdown structure element or the summary task, and the rectangle-like symbol, it shows the activity. You see, the blue color means that the activities are completed, while the green color activities means the work on these activities is still pending. Now, please remember that here in the Gantt chart view, we have the summary task that is showing in black color. These are also referred as the WBS elements. Now, we have small arrows between the different activities. Okay, these arrows are basically showing the relationship between these activities, whether it is a finish to start, finish to finish, start to finish, etc. We'll have more details about the WBS elements, activities, and the relationships in our coming lecture. Then we have these small square-like symbol here in the Gantt chart view. If I click on this, you see the activity is getting highlighted in the activities view as well. In fact, this kind of activities are called the milestone activities. And if you observe here, we don't have the start date mentioned, but we have the finish date mentioned there. That means it's a finish milestone. I mean, this activity is called as the finish milestone. We'll have more details about the milestones in our coming lectures. Now, if you come across a situation when you don't see any relationship lines between the different project activities in the Gantt chart view, you can easily display these relationship lines by clicking the relationship lines icon at the top. And if you want to hide these relationship lines, you can simply unclick the icon as needed. It's very important, and please observe here in the Gantt chart view that we have one red color line showing there in the Gantt chart view. This red color line is called the progress line. Do you know why we use this progress line in the Gantt chart view? In fact, the progress line is used to display and determine that how well we are progressing on our particular project we are working on. We can select to display the progress line, and this can be done by using the progress line icon at the top in the toolbar. You see the line is disappeared. Now, if I want to bring this progress line back and I want to show it in the Gantt chart view, simply I will click the progress line icon again in the toolbar menu. Now, along with this red color progress line, we have another line that is blue in color, and this thin blue line, it represents our data date, and it is now represents and it is referred to as our project status. So this line helps us to determine that this is where we are at the particular moment which represent to the project. And like we have said before, that we are going to discuss all these functions in our coming lectures in great detail. Okay, so let me briefly summarize the key concepts that what we have covered so far. We have seen the different ways that we can use to open up a certain project in the Oracle Primavera P6. We have also learned one very important function which is called progress line, and it's getting displayed in the Gantt chart view. The project progress line is used to compare and show the current progress of our project with respect to the project data date, which is shown in blue color in the Gantt chart area. Also, we have learned about the active windows title and the active tab title bar as well. Please remember that, and you can observe here in this window. And we have also learned previously that by default we have toolbars in the top, left, and right hand side of the Oracle Primavera P6 working screen. There are 3 toolbars in the left, 6 toolbars at the top, and we have 3 toolbars in the right as well. Now, starting from left, from the top, we have standard toolbar. Then in the middle we have enterprise toolbar, and below in the left we have project toolbar there. Now from the top right we have print toolbar. Then under the main menu we have print toolbar, top layout, bottom layout, layout toolbar. Then we have tools and then we have display toolbars there, which is showing currently by default. Now in the right from the top, we have edit toolbar. In the middle, we have assign toolbar. Then in the right below, we have move toolbar there. Now you might be wondering that why do we use these toolbars? So please note that the main function of these toolbars is to provide the quick access to some of the commonly used functions or the commands of the Oracle Primavera P6, so that you can save time and you don't have to browse and go through the various sub-menus present in the Oracle Primavera P6 main menu at the top. Also, please be aware and remember that all these functions are already present in the main menu of the Oracle Primavera P6. Please don't forget another very important concept and a key point, that we can always hide and display the toolbars of our choice in the main screen whenever required. In order to do that, let's right click here, and for example, if I don't want to display the assign toolbar on the right side, I will just click here. You see the assign toolbar is disappeared. Now again, if I right click here, similarly I want to hide the edit toolbar as well. In fact, I will left mouse click here in the edit option. Now our edit toolbar is also gone. Similarly, we can hide the move toolbar as well. Now bringing these toolbars back to the main screen is very easy. Let's right click at the top or anywhere in the toolbars. Let's select the edit toolbar first. Similarly, we can right click and can click the assign toolbar. Then we can right click and select the move toolbar here. Now you see all our toolbars are back to the main screen as before. So this is how we can hide or can display the toolbars as per our own specific requirements. Okay, so let's explain these toolbars one by one. So starting from the standard toolbar from the left side, in the upper left corner, we have the first button at the top, which is used to create a new project. If I click on this small icon, okay, it will start create a new project wizard. Now I have to select the enterprise project structure where I want to create my new project. For example, I'll click this button and I want to create the project under the energy services portfolio. So I will select the energy services and press this select button on the right side. So once I click on finish button, our new project will be created under the energy services portfolio. So at this moment, I don't want to proceed further. So I will close this window by clicking on the X in the upper right corner. Please always remember that we can use the Ctrl plus N keys altogether from our keyboard to start the new project wizard. Now the next icon in the standard toolbar is used to open up the project from the existing projects list, and if I click on this icon, it will show us the open project window. Now we need to select the project portfolio from here. For example, if I want to open the project from the construction projects, IT projects or manufacturing projects portfolio, then I have to select that portfolio accordingly. Now for this time, I will keep the all projects option selected and I will click OK. Now once I will select the project that I want to open from the list, in my case I will select the ABC Nursing Home project. I will click on the open button. As you see, we have opened up the project from the existing projects list. Please don't forget that alternatively you can use the Ctrl plus O keys from our keyboard to open up the project from the existing projects list. Now the next icon in the standard toolbar, it is used to close all the projects that are opened there already in the Oracle Primavera P6 database. So once I click on close all projects icon, in the standard toolbar, it will give me the message as, are you sure you want to close this project? I will click yes, and you see the project that was opened previously in the Primavera P6 database, it is closed now. And if you observe from the top, it is showing that no current project is opened at this time. Now, if I want to open this project again, I will click on the open icon in the standard toolbar. I will select my project. Then I will click the open project button in the upper right corner, and this will open our project again in the Oracle Primavera P6 database. So that's it. We have covered the standard toolbar already, and next we are going to cover the enterprise toolbar in the left side. Please don't forget that alternatively we can use the Ctrl plus W keys together from our keyboard to close all the projects that are open currently in the Primavera P6 database. Now, in the enterprise toolbar, from the top we have the projects icon there. If I click on this icon, it will open up the projects window. In fact, the project window was open previously. So if I close this window by pressing on this red X mark in the upper right corner of the window, it will close the project window. Now, if I click the projects button now in the enterprise toolbar, you see it will open up the projects window again for us. Now, if you can remember and recall from our previous discussion that in the projects window, this triangle-like icon represents the enterprise project structure or EPS, and the folder-like icon, it represents the project. Now you see the difference here. This folder that is like a open folder symbol means this project is already opened in the Primavera P6 database, as it is clear from the top as well. You can see the open project name there, which is ABC Nursing Home Project. And here, whatever projects we want to open, we can right click and select the open project option to open up the projects we want. Also, please remember that at the top we have active tab title bar and the active windows bar, and we can switch between these tabs by clicking on any of the tabs as required. Now, the next icon in the enterprise toolbar is the resources icon. If I click on the resources icon, it will open up the resources window in front of us, and it will show all the resources that has been created in the Primavera P6 database for all the projects that are there for the organization called Arba Incorporated. Now, if you can observe here, we have 3 windows that are opened there in the active tab title bar. These are projects, resources, and activities. Please note that we are going to discuss more about the resources in our coming lesson. Now, the next icon in the enterprise toolbar is the reports icon. If I click on reports icon, it will open up the reports window, and in this window we have lots of reports there, and these reports they're created by default. For example, if I want to see the resources details, I can right click on this report, select the run option, and I can click on report option to run the reports as needed. And from here we can create any type of reports we want for our project. Now, after the reports icon in the enterprise toolbar, we have the tracking icon there. If I click on the tracking icon, it will open up the tracking window in front of us. Please note that the tracking window is used to track the various kind of information with respect to our project progress. We will have more details about the tracking window sometime later in our course. Now, next comes the project toolbar. In the project toolbar from the top, we have activities icon there. If I click on this activities icon, it will let us to the activities window, and we have discussed this activities window already in our previous discussion. Now, after the activities icon in the project toolbar, I have the WBS icon there. if I click on WBS icon, it is opening up the work breakdown structure window in front of us. Now you see here, our view is currently in the chart view, and that's why our work breakdown structure is appearing like this on our screen. If I want to display the Gantt chart, I can click on the Gantt chart icon in the toolbar on the top, and you see it has brought back the normal view like the activities. I can adjust the view by clicking this zoom in or the zoom out icon in the top menu as needed. So it's our choice, and we can decide that what view we want to see, whether we want to display our WBS or work breakdown structure in the Gantt chart view, I mean like a Gantt chart view, or we want to have a chart view. As you see, it is appearing while we click on the chart view icon from the top toolbar. You can zoom in or zoom out by using zoom in, zoom out icon from the top in the toolbar. For example, if I press this zoom out icon, now the chart view is more visible and we can see it more clearly. If you want to best fit it in the current view, then we can press this zoom to best fit icon, and you see it is already adjusted in the current view. I would like to see it as a Gantt chart, so I will click on Gantt chart view. Now the next option or the icon in the project toolbar is resource assignment. If I click on the resource assignment icon, as you see, it is opening up the resource assignment window as you observe here in this screen. I can adjust the screen accordingly by left mouse click and move it on the right side as needed. So the resource assignment, it helps us to understand the status of work that a particular resource will be performing in a certain project. In other words, the resource assignment, this function, it helps us to understand that how many days that a resource would be engaged in a particular project. So this will be the main function of the resource assignment feature here. In other words, the resource assignment, it also helps us to understand that the specific dates that the resource is going to be working on the project. Along with this, it will help us to understand that how long the person or the resource is going to be working, how many hours it will work per day, per week, or on a monthly basis. So I hope you understand the main function of the resource assignment function here. Now next comes the WPs and documents. I mean the work products and the documents. Please note that the work products and documents simply refer to the documents that we use to carry out our project work on day-to-day basis. The example documents can be government policies, design sheets, minutes of meetings, etc. Now, if I click on this icon, you see it contains the documents such as master specification sheets, design sheets, risk impact document, government policies, and meeting minutes. Please note that we can mention more details about any document down below in the detailed form such as title, version of the document, category, reference, etc. We can have more descriptions in the description tab. Then in the files tab, we can have the location of the document and we can specify whether the documents can be uploaded on the private location or it is available to everyone there. Then comes the expenses icon in the project toolbar. If I click on the expenses icon, it will open up the project expenses window in front of us where we can add the expense items. We can mention the expense category work breakdown structure code, and the cost accounts, etc. Now the last icon in the project toolbar is the risk option. If I click on the risks icon, it will open up the risks management window in front of us. Now in this window, we can mention the risk ID, risk name. We can mention the category of the risk and whether the risk is a threat or it's an opportunity, the risk status, and who is the risk owner, etc. We can easily add the risk to the project by using this window, and also we can have the detailed risk analysis in the project as needed. And please don't forget that we can carry out the specific risk analysis to manage the particular risk as needed. Okay, so till this point we have covered the standard toolbar, enterprise toolbar, and the project toolbar in the left side of the Primavera P6. Now let's look at the toolbars on the right. Now from the top we have the edit toolbar, then we have the assign toolbar, and at the end we have the move toolbar. Now let's start from the edit toolbar. Now from the top we have add, delete, cut, copy, and paste icons there. As the risk window is already opened in front of us, so we can use the add button or add icon to add the new risk in the risk window. I will click add here, and you see a new risk entry is there in the risk window. I can modify the details as needed. Similarly, I can delete the selected risk if needed. So I'm going to press on the delete button, which is a red cross icon. It will give me the message as, are you sure you want to remove the selected risk? Since I want to delete it, I will click yes, and you see the risk is deleted there. Now similarly, I can use the cut and copy options. For example, if I select the copy, and now you can see the paste option is highlighted there. That means we can paste the same entry that we have selected previously. So I will press the paste option, and you see we are able to paste the new entry here in the risk window as needed. So in fact, these are the normal add, delete, cut, copy, and paste options that we can see in most of the Windows-based applications, such as we have all these options available in the Microsoft Office applications as well. Next, we have the assign toolbar, but as you see, all these options or icons in the assign toolbars are grayed out. It's because most of these options are related to the activities window, and since we are in the risk window, so these options are not enabled, or these are grayed out. Now what I will do is, since we have a lot of windows opened here, I will close some of the windows because these are no more needed. I will click the small red cross button to close the risk window. Similarly, I will close the project expenses, and I will close WPS and docs, resource assignments, WBS. But immediately once we are in the activities window, you see that all these options, all these commands or icons that were there in the assign toolbar are highlighted now. Now I will close some more options like tracking, reports, and resources as well. So that means whenever you want to close any window that is opened in the Primavera P6 screen, we can use this small red cross icon to close the window accordingly. Since all the icons or commands are highlighted in the assign toolbar, so from the top we have resources, then resources by role, and after that we have activity codes icon, predecessors icon, successors icon, and the steps commands, the step icon is there. As you see here, if we click on the assign resources icon from the top, it will open up the assign resources window. Now, what is the function of this resources icon? Basically, this assign resources window is used to assign resources to our project activities. We'll talk and have more details about assigning the resources sometimes later in the course. And now after this, we have assign resources by role icon there. If I click on this one, but it's saying the selected activity does not have any roles assigned. That means if we have any roles assigned to this particular activity, then we can click on the resources by roles, and after that it will show us the roles that we have for that activity. Now after this, we have roles icon there. If I click on this icon, then it will show the assign roles window. Then this window, in fact, it is showing us the various roles that are available there at present in the Primavera P6 database. And from this database, we can assign roles as needed. Let me close this assign roles window. And next comes the activity codes. If I click on this activity codes, it will open up the assign activity code window. Let me just make it more visible by dragging it, and let's adjust the size of the window. Okay, now it's more clear. As you can see here, we have various activity codes displaying there for the different phases, departments, responsibility, etc. And we can select to assign these codes to our project activities from the assign activity code window as needed by our project. Okay, so next we have the predecessors option there. Now, as you see, in the assign predecessors window, in fact, this window, it helps us to assign relationships. I mean, the assign predecessors window, it helps us to create the relationship between the different project activities, as you can see in the Gantt chart view. Now, next we have the successors option. In the successors option, I mean, the assign successors window is used to create the successors relationship between the different project activities as we have there in the Gantt chart view. So let me close the assign successors window, and now we have the steps icon there. Now the main objective of the steps icon is to assign the activity step templates to a certain project activity. In other words, we will assign the steps that are required to perform work on a certain project activity. Okay, so next we have move toolbar, but as you can observe here, the move toolbars basically grayed out and not enabled at present. But if we open the work breakdown structure window, now you see immediately after that these up, down or left, right arrows are enabled accordingly. So the main objective of these arrows or icon is, as you can see from here clearly from the direction of these arrows, that we can use these arrows to move the position of our work breakdown structure up and down, and can shift the position left or right of the WBS elements as needed by our project. Now let's discuss the icons that we have there in the top toolbars. So starting from the left, we have print toolbar, where we have print and the print preview options there. The print and the print preview options work similar like any other standard Windows application, such as Microsoft Word or Excel, etc. So we are not going to discuss these print options in more details here. Then after the print toolbar, we have the top layout toolbar. Now in the top layout toolbar from the left, we have the table icon there. If I click on this, then as you see, the Gantt chart view is disappeared. Similarly, if I click on the activities and I click on the table icon, the Gantt chart will be disappeared. That means the table view, this icon is used to hide the Gantt chart view in the active window. The next option or the icon is Gantt chart. If I click on this, it will bring back the Gantt chart in the active window. Now remember, we have made hide the Gantt chart in the WBS window, Now, if I click on the Gantt chart icon in the top layout toolbar, as you see here, the Gantt chart is back in the WBS window. In fact, these table or the Gantt chart icons or commands are important if you want to focus on some specific items in the Primavera P6 that you just want to see the table and you don't want to see the Gantt chart view. That's why if I click on the table, it will hide the Gantt chart, and when I click on the Gantt chart icon, it will display the Gantt chart back to the active window. Okay, our next option in the top layout toolbar is activity network, but as you observe here right now, we cannot click this icon since it is disabled or grayed out here. But if I switch to the activities window, immediately after this, as you observe here, the activity network icon is enabled. Now, once I click on the activity network, immediately the activity view changes to the WBS code and WBS name, as you can see here in the screen. The activity network is basically a network diagram that explains or it shows the relationship that exists between the project activities for the WBS element or the work package. So on the left we can see the WBS element, and on the right side we can see the activities that are created under that particular WBS element, and the relationship between these activities is also displayed there. For example, if I click on the structure, so we have so many activities here. You cannot see these activities properly, so I will zoom in to see the activities here clearly. I can click on zoom to best fit. Now you see the activities under the structure work package or WBS element and all the activities that are created in this particular WBS element. Similarly, if I click on building one, so it will display all the activities that are created under this particular WBS element, and it shows the relationship that is created between all these activities accordingly. In other words, we can see and click on the work package in the left side, and on the right side we can see the related activities and the relationship that exists between all these activities for this particular WBS element or the work package. Okay, so I will go back to the previous view in the activities by clicking on the Gantt chart icon in the top layout toolbar, and you see the view in the activities window is back to the normal, where we have the table view on the left and the Gantt chart view on the right. Okay, so in the top layout toolbar, next comes the relationship lines icon. The relationship lines icon is used to display or hide the relationship between the different project activities in the Gantt chart view. Now, in order to hide this relationship lines, I can click on this relationship lines icon, and you see the relationships between these project activities is disappeared now. Similarly, if I want to bring this and want to show the relationship lines back to our project schedule between these project activities, then I will press that relationship lines icon again, and you see it has started showing the relationships lines again there in the Gantt chart view. So this is how you choose to display these relationship lines between the project activities, and when you want to display and when you don't want to display these. And this is what the relationship lines icon function for. Now, next in the top layout toolbar, we have the chart view icon, but as you see, the chart view icon is grayed out this time. But if I move to the WBS view, then immediately after that, you see the chart view is enabled. Now, as you can see here, we can see the WBS elements in the chart format here, and we can zoom in to see the WBS chart format more clearly here. I can click on zoom to best fit again. Now next we have the bottom layout toolbar, but as you can see here, most of the options in the bottom layout toolbars are grayed out. So in order to enable these icons, we need to switch to the activities view. I will click on activities view now, and the bottom layout options are enabled now. Our first icon in the bottom layout toolbar is details. Now this details icon helps us to display the details about the selected item in the table view. Now for example, if I don't want to see the detailed view in the bottom, I can click on view and show on the bottom and can select the no bottom layout option there. Now if I want to display the details view again, simply I can click on the details icon here in the bottom layout, and you see our details form is back again. Then next comes the activity usage spreadsheet. The activity usage spreadsheet, it basically shows the original duration of the activity, remaining duration, and the schedule percentage complete, and it shows the cost, what was the planned total and what was the actual cost involved for that particular activity. So in fact, the activity usage spreadsheet icon, it helps us to understand the activity usage of Primavera P6 project schedule. In other words, the activity usage spreadsheet, it helps us to understand for every activity that what was planned and what is the remaining amount and what was the actual amount of money that has been spent so far on this particular activity. In fact, this is why we use the activities usage spreadsheet icon here. We'll have more details about this in our coming lesson later in the course. Next, we have the activity usage profile icon. If I click on this icon, it will show us the total cost involved. I mean, it will show the budgeted cost, the total actual spent, and remaining total cost in graphical form here, so that we can perform and do the analysis easily. In other words, it helps us to have analysis, and it helps us to determine the level of usage of the project activities and the cost involved and the other details that we may want to understand well about the activities behavior in our project. Okay, so next option or the icon in the bottom layout toolbar is resource usage spreadsheet. Once I click on this, then this command will show us the name of the resource that is assigned to the different activities in our project schedule or in our project, and it shows us the activities start and finish date along with the remaining units of that particular resource. In other words, this icon resource usage spreadsheet help us to understand the resource details and the activities he is working on in the project. And then we have resource usage profile. If I click on this resource usage profile icon, it will show us and help us to understand the budgeted units, actual units, and also it inform us about the remaining early units over allocated early units in graphical form, as you can see here in the window. Also, please note that the resource usage profile icon help us to analyze and understand the limits for each resource or the employee that are working on the different project activities in our project. Okay, so after this, next comes the trace logic icon. If I click on the trace logic, as you see, the bottom layout changes, and it helps us to understand the relationship that is present between the different activities that we have within any given WBS element or work package in the work breakdown structure. Okay, now in the top we have already covered the print toolbar, top layout toolbar, and the bottom layout toolbar. Now here comes the layout toolbar. In the layout toolbar from the left, I have the bars icon there. If I click on this bars icon, it will show, as you can see here, it will show the bars window in front of us, where we have the name, time scale, filter, and the preview, etc. And on the right side, of course, we have some standard button there that we can use to modify the bars in the Gantt chart view. So here in the bars window, we can customize our bars in the Gantt chart view. I mean, we can select whether what we want to display and what we don't want. Okay, and next we have the columns icon. If I click on the columns, then the columns window will show up in front of us. Let me expand this window a little bit. Now you see in the activity table, we have the same fields are getting displayed that we have there under selected options, and they are showing in the same sequence. For example, first we have activity ID, and under selected options we have the activity ID. Then secondly, we have the activity name. Similarly, we have original duration, remaining duration, and schedule, percentage complete, start, finish date, etc. We have all these columns there that we have in under selected options in the columns field in the columns window. Now, for example, if I change anything under selected options, then in the activity table, the sequence of those fields will also be changed. For example, if I will move the activity name before activity ID and click on apply button, and you see the activity name is getting displayed before the activity ID. So I will just move the activity ID to the previous location. And on the other hand, another important thing, if I want to, let's say for example, if I want to add the column and I want to see the critical activities in my project schedule, I can click on general. For example, let me click the critical and I will select this add to the list arrow. You see it is moved there under selected option. So as soon as I click on apply button, it will show here after the activity ID field, as you can observe here in the activity table. So this is how you can remove or add any fields as per your own requirements as needed in the activity table. Okay, let me close this window by clicking OK button on the upper right corner of the columns window. Now, at any stage, if I feel that I don't need this critical field displayed in the activities table, then I can easily remove that by clicking on the columns icon, and under selected option, I will click on critical field and then I will click on the button remove from the list. I will hit apply and click OK, and as you see on the left side, the critical field is not there. I mean, it's not showing there in the activities table anymore. Now, at any stage, if I feel that I don't need this critical field displayed in the activities table, then I can easily remove that by clicking on the columns icon, and under selected option, I will click on critical field and then I will click on the button remove from the list. I will hit apply and click OK, and as you see on the left side, the critical field is not there in the activities table. I mean, it's not showing there in the activities table anymore. Okay, next we have a time scale icon. If I click on the time scale icon, it will open up the time scale window in front of us. Please note that the main objective or the function of the time scale option is that it helps us to control the appearance of our Gantt chart. And you see right now we have year at the top and then we have the months. Now in the time scale window, if I change my time scale format to 3 lines and click apply, then you see our time scale changes to 3 lines, but at the top we have nothing. What I will do is I will change the date interval to quarter per month and I will click apply. Now you see, now from the top in the first line we have year, then our year time, it is divided into 4 quarters, and then every quarter is divided into 3 months time. I have many options by using which we can change the appearance of our Gantt chart view. We have months per week, days per shift, day per hour, year per financial period, etc. I will leave the default options selected, so I will change back the time scale format to 2 lines at this stage. Since I'm not going to modify anything right now, I will hit apply and click OK. So this way, by using the timescale option or timescale icon, we can always display our Gantt chart timescale to more detailed level as per our own specific requirements in the project. Now next we have the filter by option there. If I click on this filter by icon, then it will open up the filters window in front of us. The main function of the filters option is to help us by providing the specific type of activities that we want to see in our project. For example, if I want to see the critical activities in the project and I will click apply, then it will display only the critical activities in the table view, in the activities table and in the Gantt chart view. Now, for example, if I want to see the activities that are in progress, I will select or mark the in progress option in the filters window and I will click apply. Now you see, it will show all the activities that are in progress. It will show the activities where the work is in progress. I will uncheck the in progress option and click apply to move back to our normal view. I will click OK. Then we have group and sort option. Once I will click on group and sort by icon, it will open up the group and sort window as you see here. So this option helps us to show and group and sort the specific activities we want to see in the activity table and the Gantt chart view. For example, if I click on show summaries only option in the group and sort window, and then if I click on apply button on the right side, and as you see here, it will display only the summary tasks or the work packages in the activities table and in the Gantt chart view. Now I will unclick the show summaries only and click apply, and you see we are back to our normal view again. Okay, so I'll click on OK button to close the group and sort window, and next we have the line numbers icon there. If I click on the line numbers, you see it will display the line numbers on the left. By using the line numbers icon, we can display the activity line numbers in the activity table if needed. And if we unclick the line numbers, if we click the line numbers again, you see the line numbers are disappeared from the activity table. Okay, now next we have tools toolbar, and the first icon in the tools toolbar is visualizer. The visualizer is a separate application, and we use the P6 visualizer as a reporting tool, and by using the visualizer we can create customizable Gantt charts and schedule comparisons for time-based daily comparison reporting. Okay, so next we have the schedule icon. If I press on the schedule icon, it will open up the schedule window in front of us. As you can see, the alternative way we can access this option is by using the F9 button on our keyboard. Now, the main objective of the schedule icon is that it helps us to update our project schedule with respect to the current data date, which is mentioned in the schedule window, as you see here in the Primavera P6 main screen. Okay, now let me close this window. And the next option we have is level resources. which can also be accessed from our keyboard by pressing the Shift plus F9 keys all together. And this option is used to level the resources in our project schedule as needed. Now, next we have Progress Spotlight icon. If I click on this Progress Spotlight icon, you see it is highlighting the activities in the activities table as well as in the Gantt chart view. Now, the main objective of the Progress Spotlight function is that it helps us to update our project schedule, and it provides a better understanding of the activities that we need to update at that specific time interval. Okay, now let me disable the Progress Spotlight feature first. And the next icon is Progress Line. As you see, this red color line, it is displayed in the Gantt chart area. Please note that the main objective of the Progress Line command is that it helps us to quickly view the progress of activities with respect to their scheduled deadlines. Please note that the Progress Line feature, it applies to the Gantt chart in the activities windows only. Then we have another icon in the Tools toolbar, which is called Disable Auto Reorganization. Please note that by default, whenever we add or edit or remove data from a certain window, such as Activities or Projects window, the Primavera P6 automatically reorganizes data in the Activities or Project window accordingly. And we can disable this feature by using the Disable Auto Reorganization command whenever needed. Now we have another icon called Update Progress, but before we use this feature, let me click the Progress Spotlight icon. Okay, so when we click on this Update Progress icon, it will open up the Update Progress window in the Primavera P6 screen in front of us, as you see here. Now, in order to use this Update Progress feature, first we have to use the Progress Spotlight icon. Okay, once the activities are highlighted by this Progress Spotlight feature, then we can update the status of the activities that have been highlighted. But it is important that you should have the right privileges to perform this task. Okay, then the last toolbar at the top, it is called as Display Toolbar. Now in the Display Toolbar, we have Zoom in, Zoom out, and Zoom to best fit icons there. Now the main objective of all these three zoom icons is to help you providing the proper view of your Primavera P6 working area so that you can easily view the different options available there. Okay, now next we have new horizontal tab group icon. If I click on this icon, our working screen view is changed. As you see, we have the WBS window at the top and the activities window in the bottom. And both WBS and activities windows are displaying horizontally. Now, if I move this display back to the normal, I can click on Merge All Tab Groups icon. Now you see here, we have projects, activities, and WBS windows as it was showing previously. Now after this, we have another icon called New Vertical Tab Group icon. If I click on this, then let's see what happens here. Now you see we have projects window in one side and the activities window on the other side. And both projects and activities windows are displaying vertically. Now, in order to bring display back to the original view, I will click on Merge All Tab Groups. As you see, it is back to the normal as it was showing before using the new vertical tab group icon. Then after that, we have Hint Help, Local Help, and Online Help icons there. You can use these help icons to get help whenever required. Okay, great. We have covered all the toolbar functions that are present there by default in the Oracle Primavera P6. Also, we have explained the meanings of each and every icon present in the toolbars in the left, right, and top portion of the Primavera P6 working window. It is very important to understand that although we have covered and explained all the default toolbar functions, but still there are more, and those will be explained once we will talk about the main menu. Please remember that, as I explained earlier, these toolbars are used to provide you the quick and easy access to some of the most commonly used functions of Primavera P6 so that you can save time. I'm sure that you are now very well familiar of these toolbar functions, and you will be more comfortable and confident when we will further progress to the next topics such as organizational breakdown structure, enterprise project structure, work breakdown structure, along with many other important and core concepts that we are going to cover in our present Primavera P6 course. Okay, then thank you, and let's meet in our next lesson now. Goodbye.